April 1941. In a field in western Ukraine, a satisfied Soviet pilot counted bullet holes in the aircraft he'd just shot down. The twin-engine German aircraft had civilian markings, but the military bearing of the pilots was obvious. The smell of burning plastic was further cause for suspicion. It came from a smouldering pile of photographic film, which the Germans had hurriedly tried to destroy. In the spring of 1941, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union were allies, but everyone knew it could not last. German reconnaissance aircraft, flying 33,000 feet above the Soviet Union, usually passed unnoticed. But on the 15th of April 1941, engine trouble forced one Junkers 86 to lose altitude. It was quickly intercepted and shot down. Under interrogation, the Junkers pilots said they'd lost their way flying to Krakow in German-occupied Poland. It wasn't very convincing. They'd been shot down near Rovno, more than 200 miles from Krakow, deep inside the Soviet Union. The pilots were from the elite Rovel high-altitude reconnaissance squadron. They had been secretly photographing Soviet territory for months in preparation for the German invasion of the Soviet Union. 10 days later, a top-secret report arrived in Moscow from Major General Tupikov, the Soviet military attaché in Berlin. His report made two conclusions. Number one, the Germans are planning war with the Soviet Union. Number two, they plan to attack soon, definitely before the end of the year. In the spring of 1941, neither Tupikov nor other Soviet agents could say exactly when the German invasion would come. Stalin's best spy, Richard Sorgier, had claimed that the invasion would begin around March, after the harvest was sown. Then he said the end of May. When that passed, he said the second half of June. The reports from Soviet agents were confused and contradictory. In short, no one in Moscow was certain if or when the Germans would invade. In later years, it was rumored that the German invasion plans were on Stalin's desk almost as soon as they were signed. But in reality, no such plans were stolen. Masses of information was received from the Soviet intelligence network, but only a few reports received proper analysis. Many valuable ones got lost in the Soviet bureaucracy. 5 months earlier, in December 1940, Hitler had issued Führer Directive 21. It ordered German forces to prepare for the invasion of the Soviet Union. Codename Operation Barbarossa. Now, German troops were streaming eastwards, taking up position along the Soviet frontier. Hitler would later claim that the Red Army had been massed along the border, poised to invade Germany. Thus, he claimed Operation Barbarossa was a preemptive strike, a legitimate act of self-defense. But this was classic Nazi propaganda. Hitler wanted others, particularly in the neutral countries, to believe his invasion was justified. But few were fooled. In private, Hitler was more candid about his reasons for invading the USSR. It is only the possibility of Russia entering the war, he said, that now gives the English hope. If that hope is ruined, the English would have to make peace.